Namaste. Welcome, beautiful souls. Welcome to a preview, not a preview, a walkthrough, initial reflections of the We Tarot. Sorry about that. I was so excited to learn that this deck was published because I know that the consideration of possibly publishing a Wemoon tarot made so much sense. For those of you that are not familiar with the Wemoon um, series of publications, this is an extraordinary collection of art and poetry and writing by women uh, to support humans in their receptive journey. And each year, a date book is published. And this is an incredible, like I said, it's just an incredible collection of art. I want to show you the painting for Emok. This is just really something. So I don't know, this is, and I'll tell you who the artist is in a moment. But look at that amazing seed soul emerging through the ground. And then there's this beautiful writing for Amok above it. And this is this date book, they call it a date book, I've always called it a journal, has been an important part of me sitting down to the table, getting ready to read tarot, getting ready to get in the mood. And, you know, there's always beautiful art to look at, poetry, and then on the date pages, it has notes about the transits, the phases, the lunar phases, and the Sabbats are recognized here. And if you are new to all of this, there is so much information in the front and the back of the book to support you in this learning experience. It's not a guidebook for people that know everything, right? It's a learning tool, and it's absolutely brilliant. And so this collection of uh, the founder of Wemoon, I put her name on the title. I'm going to get the consonants wrong, so just bear with me 1 second. Well, the publisher is Mother Tongue Inc. Her name is Moo. I'm sorry, I need to go. It's not in the title, it's just down below in the description. I want to say her name aloud, so just bear with me. Musawa. Musawa. So Musawa has been with this project for the past 40 years. So 20 years on either side of the millennia. And this is a collection, a selection of 40 years of artwork put into a tarot deck. And there have been discussions of tarot energy in the book throughout the years. And so I'm just so happy that this has been created. What I'm going to do today is to do a walkthrough of the cards, and I'm going to read the key words that are associated with of the each of the cards, and some of them we can chat about, and others will just sit in amazing reflection. Okay. The Fool. And I'm going to have to get there's a lovely little white book that comes with this, and I'm going to read from here because I can't see. All right. Oh, and one other thing. There is a warning that the production of the little white book is definitely under subpar, and they will be sending a complimentary replacement book to anyone who gets this deck. You simply need to send them your information, and I've just broken my spine, so my pages are falling out. Obviously, I wasn't careful. And welcome. Hi, Nancy. You have just received this deck. Yeah, it's beautiful. Welcome to Dee Dee. And Beth, you've got it as well, too. Okay. All right. So let's begin. Opening. And another really amazing thing about this deck is that you will be familiar with some of the art here from your Oracle and other Oracle and Tarot decks. The, the Magician or the Witch. I really like this card. I, I, I've always loved the artwork in the date book, and I'm very excited to read and to work on this. Now, the only drawback is that this is oracle size and it is very, very slippery. So please forgive me if I don't get this aligned quite right. The keyword of the priestess is priestessing the planet. Beautiful. Priestessing the planet. And so in this deck, we see women from all nations, all races, all ages. All the artwork is drawn, not drawn, all the work is created by women. Mhm. This is the Great Mother, embodying spirit. In lieu of the Emperor, we have the empower. Uh-oh, what happened? That's right. The Empowerer, wisdom, compassion, and power. Empowerment. Goddesses embody the spiritual values of world cultures. The Empowerer is a matriarchal rendering of the Emperor card. The divine feminine upends the patriarchal paradigm of dominance and control. Green Tara is the Tibetan goddess of wisdom, compassion, and power. She empowers us to uphold truth and practice in kindness. And she helps us to dispel our inner demons and overcome powerlessness from inner and outer sources. There are 21 Tara meditations, like 21 major Arcana cards, that cultivate different qualities of this goddess. Green Tara sits with one leg outstretched, ever ready to spring into action to empower liberation from all of oppression and suffering. Call on her. I'll read you a few of these as we go through. Number 5, so in lieu of the Hierophant, we have Sacred Paths. I think this is going to be one of my absolute favorite cards. This card really speaks to me, what is going on in the headdress. And the keyword here is sign language. I quickly went to my Soul Cards Tarot, my Soul Tarot, to see what I had assigned for this picture. So this is Deborah Koff Chapin. And I had placed this at 2 of fire in my deck. And here we have this card, this art from, and she has 2 cards, 2 pieces of art in this deck. And this is the Lover's card, in the spirit of love. Hello, Tarot Crow. Welcome. The Charioteer, holding course. There's a lot of energy here. This is quite a different take on the Chariot card. Now, this painting is really something. I think I've seen this one before. This is Mending the Web, also known as restorative justice. How beautiful is that? The Hermit or the Crone. And this energy is used in a few decks. I'm thinking of the Margaret Peterson right now, that the ninth arcanum is known as the Crone. And you know, it's funny with what Dee Dee is saying here. As I was going through and because I took some photos of the cards and I had to put them back in order, I was thinking that this deck might read beautifully alongside the lovely Om. It I very seldom do I read tarots, but I just feel like these cards would read beautifully together. The key word on the Hermit is wisdom. And then we have the wheel of life, natural balance. Strength is 11, so justice is 8. And this is holding us together. Hmm. The hanged one is the chrysalis, and the keyword on death is the other side, which is a very, very powerful colors. Um, This really feels like a portal card. Reminds me of the frequency of perhaps cosmovisions. Hmm. And this pose, so I need to think about this for a moment. This particular pose goes by a few different names, but it's known primarily as the goddess pose. It is a very fiery pose. It comes in the warrior sequence, if you're doing a yoga flow. And just really okay, so I know what this is. Here is temperance, and I don't know what it says in the guidebook, so I'm just flowing here. Um, I'll read your comment in a minute, Didi. This requires a tremendous amount of strength, but we also have to own our inner softness to sit in the pose. And this really just speaks to yoga in general, which is a beautiful blending of letting go and firing up. So, Didi says that death reminds me of death in the light seers, also a portal. Yeah, there's a couple of cards where you have that window into the abyss. The 15th Arcana is called the Wild card, and the key down at the bottom is devilish dilemmas. And we see a lot of humans in strife, struggling with one thing or another. Technology, cell phones, among other things. And then the tower. The tower is known as quantum leap. And this is a card I need to sit with. I couldn't quite figure out what was going on in the picture. So, uh, quantum leap. The collapse of this house of cards represents a woman's version of the tower card. What countless people have, certainly, what countless people have to deal with in everyday life from the fallout of the systemic collapse of patriarchy. How are you coping? If one tower falling down is an apt symbol of the patriarchy losing control, what does the tragic collapse of twin towers at the center of world trade represent as the opening caveat of the 21st century? In a world order coming apart at the seams and endangering life support systems of the whole earth, what viable alternatives are there? What steps can you take toward creating a more mutually supportive way of life for all beings? So it looks like this deck will definitely address the macro as well as the micro. The star is known as the stars, and the keyword is stardust. The moon is lunar power, and this is the card that's on the box. The sun is a brilliant mandala. Keyword is life force, and judgment is wake up call. Oh, which kind of fits perfectly. And I know a lot of people struggle with this card and the different depictions of Christian symbology and so forth. And I think This keyword is just perfect. I almost like wake up call a little bit. It's more urgent than transformation, or it's more urgent than initiation. It's almost like we must rise up, we must act, we must do something. Now, one of the features of this deck is that there are horizontal cards, and it is not necessarily the card in the deck or the of the suit. They randomly come in the deck, and so some of the cards need to be turned horizontally. And this is the World card coming full circle. And then we go on to the suit of fire. And there is one page at the end I want to share with you. Hopefully, I will remember from the little white book. Actually, why don't I do that now while it's on my mind? In the back of the little white book, there is an acknowledgement of all of the decks that have been created by contributors to the Wemoon journals over the years. And this is on page 124 if you happen to have this. And it surprised me how many of these decks that I actually have and work with. So what this list confirms is how powerful the art is, and how universally recognizable. Hi, Sunny. Well, it's and it makes me also, there's one deck that I do have a copy of that I've never worked with, and that is the Tarot of Saint Croix by Lisa Saint Croix. And that's not one that I've ever pulled out, and that's in this list here as well too. Autumn Sky Morrison, when we get to her card, she is somebody that lives here where I am, and my goodness, I would love to work with her on a project. Anyway, let's go on with the suit of fire. So this is the first minor suit that's in the guidebook, and I am awakening is the ace of fire. Two of fire. This is beautiful. And I've seen a lot of two of fire cards where we have a couple, and here we have, it almost looks like twin flames, younger. That's good to know, Beth. Thank you for sharing that. A younger, the I don't I understand the idea of twin flames, but what I'm picking up on this card is that this is and often with a two of cups, two of fire, these cards show up in a reading. I really feel like there's deep, lifelong connections among partners, and that's what I really feel here. That this is a very soulful connection, and this is a card called the Art of Love. There's lots of layers to these cards, and the astrological just looking to see. The astrological associations are not on the cards themselves. And in the little white book, the astrological associations are up top here. And so that might be something that you want to get a gold Sharpie or something, and to write a fine Sharpie, and to write on the cards. Um, Not familiar with these associations. So I just want to check something. Um, and these are different. These are not, so the pattern and the system of this tarot is definitely not Golden Dawn based, which is patriarchal. So that makes sense that it would be designed in its own way. And in the deck, there is a network, there is a building, there is a web of meeting among the majors, the minors, and the court cards. Okay. So if you were to work with this deck, as it is intended, you probably would want to write the associations on the cards. So, for example, the Ace of Fire is Mars in Aries. Mars in Aries. And I'm gonna actually, I might go through and do a second video on this to try to figure out how this is all organized, but this is just an initial walkthrough, so I will come back to this at a later time. Okay, so 2 was the art of love, and 3 is spontaneous combustion. Synergy, discovering ancient Amazon cultures inspired a generation of young feminist land dykes to create an independent way of life for women by starting women's land communities where we could live together wild and free in nature. These are going to be really great stories to read. All right, so here we have, we have 2 horizontal cards in a row. This is the 4 of Fire, this gorgeous painting called Sisterhood is Powerful. This artist reminds is the artist is, Paula Franco, and this is from the 2017 Wemoon. I really like that card. And the 5 of Fire is the one that I photographed and put on the thumbnail, and it is called Radiance. Radiance. Yeah, I get that, Beth. I really understand that. So the 5 of Fire, let your light shine. Fire ignites you from within when you can be who you are and do what you love. So perhaps I will do a part 2, and we'll also look at the correspondences among all of the 5s, all of the 4s, and so on. Okay. 6 of Fire is passion. Passion. 7 of Fire, courage, facing fear. And where you see a woman on a trapeze, but it almost looks as if she's underwater at the same time. Very interesting, depiction. And then number 8, 8 of Fire is activism. And number 9, 9 of Fire, creative fire. 9 of Fire, creative fire, and 10 of Fire is embracing the universe. So we're looking at a fulfillment, fulfillment, a positive quality of the fulfillment of fire. Actually, I'm really looking forward to that, to do um, to look at all the tens, all the aces together. That'll be great. And now the court cards in this deck, of course, have been shifted. So for the pages are called Amazon Daughter. And the Amazon Daughter of Fire is Celebrate. Celebrate. And the knights are Priestess Mother. So the Priestess Mother of Fire. Tending the hearth. Tending the hearth. And the matriarch is Ancestral Power. It's a very cool painting. And then the final court card is called Crone Sage. Crone Sage. Sorry, here it is, which is a really interesting card. And I did a quick glance. I was just wondering if there was a card from Lisa St. Croix in this particular deck, but if there is, let me know. I didn't pick up on that on my initial glance. Now, the next suit that is on that wheel that I showed you, so I'm gonna present these in the order that they are presented in the guidebook, because I believe there must be a reason for that. And this is the one of Earth. Absolutely gorgeous. This child is all one, all one. And this the keyword on this card really it reminds me of a principle that I have been trying to embrace, and I think I've done really well over the last several years, is so the keyword on the 2 of Earth is duality, both and. And one of the things that I'm reminded of here is how I have eliminated the word but from as a preposition from my vocabulary and tried to use a conjunction that supports both using and. So, yeah, absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. The 3 of Earth is Gaia rhythms, and the 4 of Earth is familiars. Mhm. 5 of Earth, healing ourselves, and 6 of Earth is abundance. And so some of these cards, we we can feel a Rider-Waite-Smith influence, and others, the deck is definitely taking on its own energy. This deck is dedicated to Pamela Colman Smith, and the dedication appears on the first page of the Little White Book. Um, and there's some really beautiful words there acknowledging her as an artist, as a woman, um, as an as and having us remember that what she was neither acknowledged for her co-creation of this deck, nor was she paid very much for her work. So it's a really beautiful dedication to her. All right, 7 of Earth, sustainability, and 8 of Earth is Earth regeneration. Ooh, let's read this one. 8 of Earth. It takes a village working together, building community, restoring natural balance. That's what it takes to recreate a healthy, sustainable environment in the wake of mass destruction and systemic injustice. Gone unchecked, these assaults on planetary health would result in the collapse of Earth's life support system. Since 2020, we experienced what that's like as a pandemic overwhelmed life support systems worldwide. How are you adapting? In what ways is your life changing with these earth changes? What do you see as the growing edge for you? What earth healing work are you doing, envisioning as a joyful extension of your life? Think of the possibilities. The front cover of the date book, the Moon Journal. Um, the subtitle of it is Gaia Rhythms, or something like that. And so this deck, the intention of this is it's called Gaia Rhythms for Women. And I put the definition of Wemoon in the description box below. All right. 9 of Earth, all our relations. And 10 of Earth is Mother Earth. The Amazon daughter. Now, this for me, this is an extraordinary card. It's called The Witches Are Back. And we see that same pose of empowerment. And I wonder in this card if she is bringing down the moon. I have a feeling that that might be what she's doing. So she has a crystal ball in her hands overhead. This is a really powerful daughter of Earth. And the priestess mother of Earth is Spirit Connection, another amazing painting. Oh, and the other bit here is that the court cards are connected to moon cycles. Okay, so that is something that I will explore and come back to you with. And then we have a very familiar painting to most of us here, a well-loved painting from Carolyn Hillier. Super powerful, Earth Matriarch, Saving Seeds. And if you don't know, this is from the Weaver's Oracle. And the final court for Earth is another Deborah Kov Chapin painting, and this is called Love the Earth. Love the Okay, so from there, we go to the suit of air, and this one has white borders. And when I look at this suit, there's something about it that reminds me of the Gaian Tarot. And I suppose there's some cards in this deck that feel very much like the work of Joanna Powell Colbert. So the one of air's ideas, and two of air's dialogue. I think that's a great, and whether that dialogue is internal or it's with another human, I think that definitely works there. The three of air is intuition. And I'd like to read this card because this is a stretch um, from, for sure, from a Golden Dawn association of the three of air. Receptivity, seeking guidance, open wide to your stream of consciousness. Intuition connects the logical left brain, reasoning with holistic right brain perception. Synthesis is a third way of perceiving that takes you beyond two different points of view to see a greater whole. And I think this idea comes together in Anatorian's Oracle of Echoes, not Oracle of Echoes, the Abyss Tarot. Sorry, the Abyss Tarot, where we see the three swords pointing into the center of the book. Synthesis is a third way of perceiving that takes you beyond two different viewpoints to see a greater whole. The soft focus of an inward gaze allows you to be present and receptive to all that is around and inside you. Distraction and blocking it out are the reverse tendency. When your crown chakra is the whole night sky, and the moon and stars are illuminating your third eye, and your throat chakra opens the flow between head and heart, mind and body, you are an open channel for spirit and guidance to come through. That is a gorgeous message. Four of air is meditation. And five of air is inspiration. This is a painting I'm going to have to sit with a magnifying glass, I think. It looks like there is a lot that is going on. A lot of there's a lot of energy here. And there's sacred geometry on, it looks like the bottom of the slippers of the child. Wow. This is a crazy card. I'm gonna explore that one. This will be another familiar bit of art for many of you. This is Ellen Lorenzi Prince's Spider Woman, the Cosmic Weaver. If you have the Dark Goddess Tarot, this is art from that deck. She weaves the world from beginning to end, grandmother, sister, and friend. The cosmic web mistress mends the web of life, reweaving connection and tending to the big picture, connecting the dots, seeing patterns, healing broken lines of communication, envisioning wholeness. Craftswomen repair, craftswomen, repairwoman, networker, weaver, doing whatever is needed. A woman's work is never done. And interesting that in the guidebook they don't spell it with a Y. Here it's spelled Woman, not Womyn. Spider Woman is a highly revered Hopi and Navajo goddess of creation. Reversed, this card reminds you not to overlook or be threatened by this awesome creatrix. She may appear small, but don't be fooled. She humbly goes about her business, tirelessly creating and recreating her world daily as you do. All right, the next card is a horizontal card. Beautiful. Seven of Air is community council. And Eight of Air is goddess consciousness rising. Goddess consciousness rising. And I am very interested in this card. I would like to, I'm going to study this one, have some deep thought about it. This is the Nine of Air. So this is the Nightmare card. This is the Nine of Swords. And we have prayer flags flying. Send prayers of peace out into the world on wings of joy when we need it most. Some really beautiful interpretations of the energy here. Now, this is Autumn Skies painting. I think there's only one in the deck. This is really beautiful. So this is the 10 of Air, and the keyword is prana, breath of life. The quartz for the suit of air. So the Amazon daughter is gratitude. And this works really beautifully for me because the element of air is connected to the heart chakra. And one of the greatest medicines, other than compassion for the heart chakra, is gratitude. So this is a beautiful correspondence for me. The priestess mother of air is calling in the directions. And of course, the priestess mother is calling in the directions. Uh, that just makes perfect sense. And so if you're not familiar with this practice, calling in the directions is something that you do to open a sacred space in shamanism. And usually there's drumming and a rattle. Sometimes there is water. I was going to say holy water, but that's not the right word. Um, and the directions are called in, depending on your tradition. We were in my practice, I start in the south and then go south and west and north and east, and then call in the energy of the sky people, and then hand goes down on the earth and call in Pachamama and all the creatures of the earth. And then the directions are closed at the end, closing sacred space. So this is a very I love that this card is here, calling in the directions. And then the matriarch of air is recycling ancient wisdom. Now this could be an Autumn Sky Morrison painting as well too, but it's not. It's Emily Kell. Yes, and there are a couple of paintings by Emily Kell in the deck. gorgeous. And the air crone is the changer and the changed. The changer and the changed. Which way does this card go? Shapeshifter, soothsayer, Sybil, shaman, take off the mask of personality, the filter of ego, let go of attachment to your self concept and your conditioned responses. Brilliant. That is brilliant. All right. So I suppose fittingly, if you think about the Waitsmith deck, if you think about how the decks of the Golden Dawn are organized according to the Tetragrammaton, and the suit of Pentacles represents the suit of integration, the suit of everything coming together. It would make sense that a deck with this intention and this energy would close with the suit of water. The suit of water would be the suit with the most energy, because of course this element is the goddess herself. Um, it is the chakra where she is at home. And the one of water is water of life. This is Cancer. This is Moon in Cancer. Mm, okay. Two of water. Water is love. Three of water. Love makes a family. Four of water. Riding the waves. That's an intense painting. What I'm feeling here is an awareness of the prana all around, the prana beyond the meat suit, beyond the physical body. Interesting description in the guidebook. Okay. I don't think I can wait till July. I'm going to have to tape all of these pages one by one, like a librarian who repairs an expensive book that children have broke the back binding of. But that's okay. I will do that. And if you're coming in late and you didn't hear me at the beginning, if you go to the website for Wemoon, it says that in July they will be sending out complimentary um, little white books to anyone who's purchased the deck. If you're right, if it's breaking apart. All right, so five of water is deep grief. Now this is a powerful painting. Deep grief. And six of water. Six of water. Interesting. So this is not a nostalgic card. This is a dreaming. Dreaming. This is the only black and white card in the deck. You guys are very quiet. Seven of water is a horizontal card. This is Moon Circle Sisters. Moon Circle Sisters. A third wave of cardinal, fixed, and mutable signs begins with Cancer. I'm not going to read that. Let's do. Okay. And then eight of water is Lunar Mystery. Lunar Mystery. Nine of water. Oh, there we go. Now this painting looks very familiar to me for the nine of water. And I don't know if there is a similar painting in another deck that I have, but I can't quite put my thumb on it. Yeah, so this is nine of water and this is beloved. And I think that is just a beautiful notion for the nine of water. The cosmic mother is love incarnate. To be loved, be loving, be loves, beloveds. Mhm. And the 10 of water is heart to heart. Heart to heart. I don't have that deck. Hmm. Beth says that the, Nine of Water looks a bit like the Crone Tarot. All right, here we go. So the Ten of Water is heart to heart. This art is Mara Friedman. I feel like I've seen this one as well too. And the quartz for the suit of water. This is quite a powerful card. I can see this bringing in some amazing messages. So the Amazon daughter is Moon Time, and the priestess mother of water is Lunar Consciousness. And the matriarch mother is a horizontal card. It is Water is Healing. Let me put the two horizontal cards because these are the last cards. I'll just put them like this. And the Crone Sage Water is the gift of aloha. And I'm going to read that one because this is the 78th card in the deck. The artist is Robin Waters. An ancient mother offering blesses us all with the gift of life freely in the spirit of love. Receive her aloha. Water is forgiving, and like love, it is forgiving. It is giving. The Hawaiian goddess Pele, immersed in water, is the living power of transformation, of simultaneous destruction and creation. In her, fire and air, earth and water fuel each other and dissolve into one another. So this is what I was saying. Why they've chosen, I think it's significant that this is the fourth suit in this deck. And so if you work with when you're working with a weightsmith or a weightsmith clone, and you feel that level of integration in the pentacles, I think this is something that you can transfer to this particular suit in the Wemoon Tarot. Her black lava hair, cooled by air and water, births new earth, out of which the flowers in her lay grow. Fish feed underwater, birds fly free in the air, and all forms of life are united in interrelationship and their need for water, open to the gifts of being offered great blessings. Mm, all right. I am looking forward to coming back to share some ways that I have been working with this deck and looking to see also. So also in the back of the book, there's a discussion of the cardinal directions and to see if that is in alignment with the way that I work with the directions, because it will be easier to remember. But I'll share that with you. So I'm going to do a little bit of work with the astrology in the deck and that diagram that I was showing you earlier of the what is this sacred shape called? The golden ratio, right? The golden ratio, which is interesting because this is a very important shape that was built into this tarot as well too, also created by woman. Yeah. So thank you for being here for this initial impressions. And if you are working with this deck and you're watching the playback, it would be great to have some feedback in a comment below. I always look forward to reading those comments. And if this resonates with you, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. That really does help me and it motivates me to keep creating content for this channel. And I didn't introduce myself. My name is Sadhana, and I'm an intuitive reader and healer, and spend a lot of time hanging out on this YouTube channel. So I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you a little bit better. Take good care, and I will see some of you in the Facebook group shortly. Namaste.